Before we get into today's video, we've got a brand new sponsor for the channel. We're back with VR Wave, which offer a wide selection of custom-made prescription lens inserts. And I would highly recommend, whether you wear glasses or not, to get yourself a pair. They offer blue light filters which help combat motion sickness and insomnia. They're really high quality and their customer service is actually some of the best I've ever seen, and that is why they're back as a sponsor on the channel. I have a very nice 5% discount code in the description below. They include lens inserts for the Pimax Crystal and the Quest 3, among others. Go check them out. But now it's time to get into today's video. Welcome back to the channel. It's been an explosive year for VR so far in 2024, with headsets such as the Pimax Crystal Lite, the Somnium VR1, and now the Vario XR4, which was actually released quite a while ago now, but it's only recently it's gaining traction. Now there's no doubt about it that this headset is primarily focused upon enterprise and for the military. It's no secret that Varjo have deep connections with the aerospace industry, and that's why this headset is used for pilot training. And the funny thing is, if you've seen my review, it's quite a mixed bag so far, and there is definitely work to do in terms of the software. The pass-through is highly capable of being the most sharpest colour pass-through we've ever seen, and at the moment we are about 2 to 3 weeks away from a big update to the pass-through, which could make all the difference, but it's not here yet. The tracking is also quite lackluster at the moment, and even though, as you can see, it works perfectly fine in my motion rig, and by the way, I am using inside-out tracking for this video, it is still very picky, and I look forward to receiving again an update to the tracking in the near future. There's also been some problems with the display, and it's been a pleasure to talk to Varjo about this, and I've been reassured by them that they've identified the problem and new units going forward won't have these vertical stripes. Now, part of the reason why they've had this issue is because the display technology in this headset, well, it's the highest resolution VR headset on the planet, and without going too much into technical details, this level of clarity PPD field of view is really pushing the boundaries of what is possible right now. And this really makes me think, what is the Pimax Crystal Super going to be like when you consider that this headset is going to have very similar displays with the same PPD? Although keep in mind, the Pimax Crystal Super will have a QLED panel. But at the moment, the Vario XR4 isn't really available to the consumer market, and part of that is because Varjo are trying to really get that quality control in order before release. I do wonder if that's part of the reason why the Vario XR4 is now a lot more money. Are you sat down? The new price is well over £5,000 British pounds before tax. Ouch. So because of all these issues and everything I've talked about in my main review video, I cannot recommend this headset right now. And it's just as well Varjo are delaying the consumer release. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I like to keep you updated with how my own VR experience is going, and since I have access to many different headsets, I've had tons of emails and messages asking me what is my favourite headset so far. And it used to be actually the Vario Aero for 2 years running, before the Pimax Crystal just came and absolutely blew apart what was possible for image quality in 2023 for a decent price. And now we have the Crystal Lite, which is an absolutely phenomenal headset, and I think for most of you out there it really does make the most sense to upgrade to this headset. And it's a great pleasure being in a position on this channel to showcase both the low, mid and high end. I've got lots of Quest 3 content coming soon because I still love that headset as well. But when it's all said and done, there is definitely a headset that has absolutely really affected me to the point where I haven't been able to put it down. And that is the Vario XR4. Yes, the very headset that has strong chromatic aberration. The tracking is quite lackluster. The audio lacks bass. For some people, the binocular overlap just isn't right at all. It does suffer from quality control issues with the display right now, although, as I've just mentioned, that will be fixed for the consumer release. And the pass-through at the moment is quite lackluster. And yes, that's right, I'll say it again. This is my ultimate favourite VR headset for flight simulation. So let me explain. The thing is, VR is such a personal thing. And most of the time on this channel, I really do think about the user when I'm recommending a VR headset. But this video is all about the headset that I love to use when I'm not recording YouTube content. This puts a smile on my face, more than any other headset when I'm flying. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And before anyone comments, I'm not sponsored by Vario. In fact, I'm not sponsored by any VR manufacturer. I make sure not to be because I'm independent and everything I'm saying is just from the heart, from a hobbyist and flight simmer just like you watching this right now. When I'm flying for myself and not making YouTube content, it is the XR4 I always pick up. And what's really sealed the deal for me is not just the stellar motion reprojection, which is really good now, it is the comfort. I can absolutely use this headset for 3 hours or more without any problems at all. It is fantastically balanced and it just makes being in VR an absolute joy. Other things about the XR4, well, it's that stellar field of view, and it's not just the measurements, which is 115 horizontal and 103 vertical, but it's the shape of that field of view. It's a huge oval, and actually it really does surprise me even against the VR1. But also it's that really good sweet spot. Those lenses are very good, much better than the Crystal, although not quite as good as the VR1, it must be said. But it's also those little things like the auto IPD adjustment. It's super fast eye tracking and dynamic favorited rendering. DCS World at 55 ppd absolutely blew my socks off, and it's made me realise what I'm missing. But also things like the fan that brushes cold air on your face and it feels like air conditioning and really makes you more refreshed and more comfortable during long play sessions, or should I say simming sessions. Now I appreciate this isn't very useful consumer advice and it's not meant to be. I'm not trying to sell you this headset, okay? I'm not bothered if you buy one or not. But I'm just giving you this update simply because if you are an absolute prosumer that wants the incredible best VR experience there is for simulation titles such as DCS World and MSFS, it's really very hard to beat. Talking of which, the Somnium VR1 I feel is hot on its tail, and if you've been watching all of my Somnium VR1 content, that is super close to the XR4, and now you consider the massive price difference, then I think for most people the Somnium VR1 probably makes the most sense. But I can't give you that comparison until I have the final unit in my hand, because right now that headset is just too front heavy for me, unfortunately. But Arthur and the team have listened to my feedback and I can't wait to try the final strap and headset very soon. But even that headset won't be able to compete in DCS World at 55 ppd, which is an absolute massive generational leap in clarity even from the likes of the Aero and Crystal. And then there's the Pimax Crystal Super coming at the end of the year, which could completely blow apart all of the headsets I've tried this year. And let me reassure you that I will be one of the first channels to try that headset out, so stick around, stay tuned for that one. And things do seem to be changing fast in the PC VR sector, but for now it's absolutely the XR4 for me. Although funny enough, I still don't recommend it at the moment. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I truly appreciate it. Please feel free to subscribe because this year is turning out to be a golden year for both VR and flight simulation. Take care, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.